and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We talking about practice, man. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We talking about practice, man.
Hey, I'm Tiffany, Rainy Faye, Solspectra, all those things. But yeah, I'm an artist. I'm currently in New York City. I just moved here from Denver. I was there for about 10 years. Uh, but yeah, I've been doing live painting and tattooing since about 2013. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So still tattooing, still painting.
So what kind of brought about this move to New York?
Ooh, that's a great question. It's just a lot of things, you know. I feel like I never really stayed in one place for too long before Denver. When I did live there, or when I moved there with my dog Bongo, I did fall in love with Denver. It was a really, I feel like it was like the height of all the art and psychedelic culture. It was like 2015 until about 2019, 2020. Um, but yeah, Denver is great. I guess I just started to feel stagnant in a way. Maybe things were too easy. I don't know. I was like, I have everything I want. I have a private studio. I have like all this space, you know. But I do think at some point growth kind of stops when you're really comfortable, right? And then that's part of it. That's part of it. There's a lot of things, but I also have my mom over here in Jersey, so I want to be closer to her. And yeah, yeah, there was just a magnetic pull, really. There was just a moment where I was like, I should get back to New York. And then all these good things started happening. It was kind of crazy. And I was like, okay, universe, like, okay. And then just kept going. And now I'm here. And I wake up here every day. And I'm like, what just happened? But
Is it kind of hard, like kind of starting over, I guess, in a new community? Like,
yeah, yeah, it's actually crazy because I really underestimated that. You know, I mean, in my head, I guess I assume like, yeah, I'm just gonna go there and I'm just gonna keep doing things the way I've been doing things, right? But I'm here and I'm like, whoa, this is actually like I'm starting my life over. Like I have my friends from, I grew up in Jersey. I have my friends from high school and some family around here. And there's some people in the art community because Cosm's up the road now. So there's some people from that community that I'm still connected with, but yeah, it's still a totally new place. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually starting my life over. Like I didn't expect it in this way, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty hard actually. It's been a lot of like emotional roller coaster for sure. Cause I'm like seeing a lot of opportunities and it is really nice to just be able to go outside and there's people and places you can explore immediately. But at the same time there's a lot of uncertainty. Um and like loneliness, I guess. But that's always there, right? Because like, what is even certainty at this point in time? you know. Um. But yeah. But yeah, it's
that's one thing
beautiful.
I want to say to you is I like appreciate kind of your open heart that you use on social media, and you like really like are able to say what so many of us artists are going through
Oh,
and just be open and honest about it. Yeah, so thank you for that because like the
I thank
struggle
you.
is real, you know.
Yeah, it's great to hear people say this because sometimes I feel like I overshare, which I'm sure I do sometimes. But like, so
No,
everyone,
I
someone's like,
appreciate it.
"Hey, it's nice to see someone like say what I'm thinking." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Keep going. But yeah, I feel like it's important to express ourselves, especially now when most of our community is online, right? And a lot of people are feeling really alone and like they don't really understand what they're going through. Like so it's like it's really good. I wish I could do more videos and stuff. I'm kind of still not over that hump of like being terrified of being seen, like in my form. I guess it's easier to type stuff, and be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. But yeah.
Well, you're good at typing it out too. Like you're much better at me than that. So yeah, appreciate the honesty and like it
Oh,
just comes out as like something from your heart that you're saying. It never comes across as oversharing to me. So yeah, just thank you for that.
okay, good. No, thank you. Yeah. Oh.
So you said you're from Jersey. Kind of, can you tell me kind of about growing up a little bit and like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Jersey. Yeah, Jersey gets a bad rap, and I mean, there's reasons that it should, for sure. But like, it's actually like a beautiful place. It's funny because coming back after being gone for so long, I'd come visit, but still, like driving through, it's like it's actually a beautiful place. Like, there's lush green forests and pinelands and rivers, and it's like really beautiful. Yeah, growing up there was interesting though, because it was like a really small town. I was definitely like a weirdo from the start, and it's like it was kind of like a hickish place, but I had some cool friends, and um, yeah, it was an interesting childhood. But we don't have to get deep into that. But like, I was happy to get out of Jersey as soon as I could, though. I left like I'm pretty sure as soon as I was 18. Uh,
where
so
did you go from there?
let's see. Well, I was in New York for a little bit, and then let's see. I always forget how this goes. There was so much. Yeah, I was in New York, and I went to California, and then that's where I started my tattoo journey eventually after like hitchhiking around for a bit, and yeah, then after California, it was like back to New York, and then Hawaii, and then Colorado, and then New York again.
Good
So
circle.
yeah, full circle. It's beautiful.
So like what kind of when did you start in art before getting into tattooing, but when did you start drawing and exploring the side?
Oh man, I was drawn since I was like a baby. Like I remember, for some reason I always have this memory of being like really young, like probably like 3 or 4, and drawing the city from Aladdin. I was like really into that movie. Like I had like a little toy easel and I like sketched it out, and um but yeah, my older sister was an artist too. I was actually more into writing when I was younger. That was like my thing. But then I started to draw in my journals in like middle school. I feel like art just kind of took over because at some point there's only so much you can say with words, right? And yeah, so I've just always been doing it. I feel like I started painting when I moved to Denver, like fully, because I was moving around so much. Before that, it was
Didn't
impossible
have
to
a
keep
studio space
canvas.
and
And yeah, yeah, and just having the resources and time to really sit, because painting is you have to like be able to sit and like be in a very like feminine, like okay, like we're just like channeling and letting it happen. I think that's how I feel. Not everybody's like that, you know. Yeah.
how have you noticed your like style evolve in your drawing skills over the years?
Oh, that's a good question. It's definitely changed a lot. I feel like it changed a lot when I started to tattoo, for sure. Like I feel like a lot of that influence definitely came into my drawings and painting, especially like composition wise, where there's always just like, maybe like one big thing and it's like very bold and almost illustrative, right? Because I guess I have those mechanics in my brain of just how tattoos work too, right? Where there's just a lot of open space and it's like simplified, I guess. But yeah, it stayed similar when it depends because I have different styles now too, where I have these like big paintings I spend years on, or I have these like doodle type drawings that I can do like that, or they just kind of flow. It's interesting.
That's one thing I did want to say is like every time I'm scrolling the timeline, which is a lot, I'm addicted to these things. But like anytime I come across your work, I know it is yours
Oh, nice.
before I see your name or anything like
Oh,
that.
nice. Oh,
Like there's a style to your lines and to your tattoo drawings, and I really like too the way that it comes through in all mediums, like in your hand drawings, but also in your work in Procreate too.
oh,
Um,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, just really cool style that's very recognizable to me. Also, too, I'll take this opportunity to share
Oh
off
my gosh, yeah. Nice
some
reference.
of your ink work because makes me so happy. This is a hand piece that you did for me,
Awesome.
maybe in 2020 or so, I think, maybe
Yeah, it
2019.
had to be like 29. Yeah, I think I remember I was still at the shop on Colfax, maybe, when I tattooed you. I think.
Hmm.
That's such a blur. But yeah, it's so cool. I love that people are still walking around with my art. I forget that. Like sometimes I'll run into someone I tattooed and I'm like, oh, you still have that. That's crazy. Like,
What? And then I've got this one for me too, this flower of life.
Yeah.
And you know, those are the only two tattoos I ever get comments on. I've got tattoos on my arms,
Wait,
but
really?
yeah, people always point out the flower and the seed, and they're like, "Oh, I really like that." So
Oh, that's tight.
maybe more so the flower than the seed, but I think the seed is my favorite. Just like I love your implementation of the watercolor
Oh, I was
into
back to
the
do color
tattoo.
too. I haven't done color in so long. Oh,
Hmm.
oh. Well, thank you for getting tattooed. But I don't know. It's such an honor to be able to draw on people.
That was really fun to come out to Denver. I came out there 2 times and saw you each time, and did an art workshop at Threda, and uh, that town is really quite amazing for the art scene out there. It's a special
Yeah,
thing.
it's really great. It's really great. I feel like I took it for granted a little bit, but it's okay. Hindsight is 2020.
Well, it seems like there has been somewhat of an exodus out of Denver lately, a little bit. Like, I know one of my favorite artists, Jake Amazon, is out in New York
Oh
with you, and
yeah, yeah. I haven't gotten to see him yet, but I've been chatting with him back and forth a little bit. But I don't know, New York life, it's crazy. You'll be one place 1 second, another place another second. It's like, all right, I can't actually do this thing. But I'm sure. I don't know. I hope to meet up with him and maybe paint eventually. That'd be cool. I'm pretty sure he's really close to me, like a mile, like a half a mile away or
oh,
something.
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there has been an exodus. I feel like there's a lot of reasons for that. Mostly it got expensive for people to live there, you know, as is what happens to cities that are cool, they get gentrified and overbuilt and everything. But you know, I think the party scene changed a little bit, not for the better as well. There's a lot going on there. I mean, I'm sure you've seen my post about that, but
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, I think places have their time, and movements, and I think it's all definitely related to the stars and all this crazy stuff. But um, yeah, it's just everything always changes, and there's still
So
always
you,
gonna be magic there, but you know.
mhm.
It's everywhere now too. I feel like there's so much widespread, like similar culture to Denver. It just a lot of things started there, and then it's just been growing, which is beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the people in Denver just kind of went to like psychedelic boot camp, art camp for a number of years, and then they're now destined to take it back out into the world
Yeah,
or
now
something.
we gotta go spread the fairy dust. That's the whole thing. I feel like there is like moments of convergence. And yeah, you're not meant to stay in one place the magic can't stay in one little thing. It has to spread, right? But yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about how you got into tattooing and how that has, affected your artwork and yeah, your life, because that's a whole lifestyle change, is it not?
Tattooing?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I love this story of how I got into it. It's pretty fun. Like, when I moved to California, I immediately became a beach bum because I was like, I'm just gonna sleep on the beach, like, all night. I was super young. But I started traveling with hippies and vans and buses and stuff like that. And then I went to my first rainbow gathering. It was a regional gathering in Washington. And I had been selling my drawings for money to like get like coffee and like buses, all that stuff, like in little beach towns. So at the gathering, I had all my art with me, and I met this girl, and she was gonna get this guy to tattoo her. And she saw my art. She's like, "You should teach her how to do it." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, you should." It was amazing because I had manifested that on that trip, and we hitched it up, and I was like, I want to find a way to get into tattooing because back then it was hard. It wasn't like you just buy it on. You can't just we didn't even really have Amazon like that. Like you had to get your foot in the door somehow. But but yeah, she told the guy she's like, oh, you should teach her how to do it. I was like, yeah, dude. And I got on bus with them, uh, and we ended up in Littleton. Funny enough, and yeah, this guy we found some machines, and he taught me to use a tattoo machine in like our friend's basement. Like it was very like scratcher, like grimy, like but it was really great. Like Just like drinking Mountain Dew and smoking hash in a basement and texting my friend. Like, it's amazing. And I have like so much gratitude for that time of my life, you know, and those people. But yeah, I eventually went to San Diego after that and I got an apprenticeship there. And then I went through a life changing moment where I got fired from there, broke up with a boyfriend, and I went back to New York and I got another apprenticeship in New York with freaking Bang Bang or whatever. And finished that, and yeah, that's when I started tattooing. I found a great little shop in Bed-Stuy with some great people, and the rest is history. You know, I just tattooed for like 12 years straight. Like, didn't do much else. Like, you know. Um, but yeah, tattooing's been really beautiful. I'm really grateful for it. It's been stressful in so many ways because I feel like I cared like way too much, which I think is important, right? But it gets overwhelming, and I've definitely gotten burnt out a few times, but I definitely love tattooing, and it's I mean, I owe everything I have to it, you know, and all the people that have trusted me to make art for them, and yeah.
What percentage of your clients now like come into you with a mushroom or something that they want put on their body versus someone that comes to you and wants your drawing and wants this custom work that they want on you or want on
Oh, dude,
themselves?
you know, in Denver, it was almost always people just like letting me do my thing. You know, they would a lot of them would come with like, hey, like I want this idea, but just do your thing, which is heaven. This is like the perfect situation. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping to get this similar vibe here, you know, once I start getting clientele and stuff and meeting people again. So
But you did get a studio set up out there already?
yeah, right now I'm working. Well, I have a studio spot in Manhattan, and I'm might be starting to take some walk-ins in Bushwick too. So yeah, it's been a little difficult because you know how things are changing, like the internet's not doing it for artists, right? So I'm learning I have to definitely like go reach out and like find people and like be in the shop. Like I can't just like run posts and ads, and which is actually beautiful. This is actually what I asked for. I was like, I want more in-person reality. And the universe was like, well, here you go. Like, you're gonna have to do that. But I think that's beautiful. I think we all need more of that. You know, I think the world, we need more connection instead of just being stuck on these, you know, devices all the time, right?
Well, and I think too, you're able to be like, I feel like your work on the iPad and, you know, you're able to stay busy no matter where you're at, whether it's on the subway or just waiting for a client to come by. I feel like you're able to still be productive in your art form.
Yeah, that's a beautiful. I love the iPad so much. It's so great for that. You know, I've been trying to like draw more too in sketchbooks and go back to that a little bit. But yeah, yeah, it's great. Just yeah.
I was kind of scrolling through your Instagram a little bit to prepare for this, and not that I don't follow you and love all your posts, but just seeing that you've done a lot of work with overlays where you've got a model and are drawing tattoos over the model and just
Oh,
giving ideas for things that you're going to work on and doing a mock-up, and that was really cool to see.
okay, yeah, that's really fun. I feel like it helps for people to be able to just kind of have an idea of what it'll, because you know that's one thing I noticed a lot in my career is I have this vision of like what it will look like on someone's body three-dimensionally, and not everyone can see that, right? So if I post it flat, it's even harder to imagine. So it's good to have like a 3D model or so, at least, right?
So
Yeah.
you do a number of different art forms, but I'm kind of curious of like if you have a vision for this thing that you want to draw and then you translate that vision onto paper, or sometimes like more with painting, I would assume too that it's more like creating the vision and it just kind of unfolds. But also I feel like a lot of your work you have a vision going into it of what it is going to be.
Yeah, yeah, and sometimes it does take a life of its own on. I would love to do more um like freehand stuff. That's what I'm trying to call into where because I do love that. I was blessed enough to be able to do that on a lot of clients in Denver who trust me. It's hard for people to trust you with the free, you know, they're like, I don't know. Like, but I feel like it's really beautiful to be able to create something in the moment with the person because a lot of stuff does come through that wouldn't have come through with just me, you know. Because someone will be like, oh, add this, and then add this. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay. And then this whole beautiful thing comes together and it's like super magical, you know?
So is that typically how it works? Is someone will come into the shop, kind of give you an idea, and then you're sketching on the spot, coming up with the idea, or is it more like a meet and consult, and then they come back after some time?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like the freehand type experience where we kind of create together in that moment and spend time drawing with maybe perhaps even like a basic idea before that, that's fun. But in general, I love to just do it slowly, like do a consult, kind of plan it out, but then I'll have some free time to draw, and then when they show up we can kind of discuss if like there's anything they don't like or want to change. And you know, we're working together the whole time. I don't like to rush anything, I don't like to feel pressured. It's just it adds a lot of stress, and I feel like it doesn't add like the best energy to a piece, right? I feel like when you're both just like calm and like intentional and, you know, give it time to produce itself, you know, it's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so me and you met in like 2019 at a Mystics and Mixtex
Yeah.
event hosted in Gunnison by Amanda Sage and Joe Bob. And it's
Yeah.
like a 5 day art camp with, I think there were like 12 to 15 of us there. And you just paint all day and learn. And so, yeah, just kind of wanted to talk a little bit that and like what other learning events have you had the pleasure of attending?
Yeah, that was so amazing. I'm so grateful for those experiences. Like those two are really great. I learned so much, and so much of the things they taught me still echo in my brain today, you know, so much. So beautiful. But yeah, I did that one, and then let's see, I did go to Cosm in like 2016 for a painting thing in the summer. That was really great. That was really what like launched my excitement with like going to those kind of painting seminars. You know, I think that's where I learned about the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art from someone that was there, Josh the Rambo, I think it was. And so yeah, I went to that in 2017. That was amazing.
And that was a painting course with Alex and Allison.
Yeah, that's where I met Josh and everything. And then I
Mhm.
went to the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art summer seminar in Italy eventually, and like that was beautiful. That was where I learned oil painting, which I never did another oil painting. I'm kind of sad. I mean, I guess we worked with oil in the with Amanda, but I always wish I could commit more to oil painting because it's amazing. But yeah, I got to learn with Autumn Sky there. That's where my painting really changed because that's where I learned how to glaze. And I feel like it's such a simple concept. And I was like, this is the secret everybody's been hiding. Like, you know, but yeah, that was a beautiful experience. And Autumn was really amazing, beautiful, talented person. And um yeah, yeah. Where else? I think that's about it. Because then I went to that one with Amanda, and that was about where I cashed out with painting courses. Um, but yeah, I would love to do some more one day eventually. You know, resource allowing and such, and time, and you know. But yeah,
Feel that.
yeah.
So what are some of the major influences in your work?
Okay, yeah, like so. Yeah, as far as influence, you mean like other artists or?
Yeah, other artists, I mean, things in the world, things in your life, anything that just kind of like is that constant in your work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously Alex Gray was definitely like one of my first influences for sure. I remember when I was like 16 or so, my sister had a book of his and I opened it up. And I remember just getting chills through my body and I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, you know. Um, so that definitely encouraged a lot of like weirdness in my art, I guess, you know, and like kind of like soul exploration in a way and just following that the route towards that. crowd and where we are today, Um, but yeah, as far as inspiration, I feel like it's always been a lot of just visions and straight up things from dreams or even trips, or I'll just pull out and like I'm like I have to draw that or I have to create that, or um I think an artist is really just a conduit for collective consciousness ideas, right? And it kind of comes to us, and the person that can do it is like it's like if you're attuned to a certain frequency and it comes to you and it's like, oh, you should put that out there, or just create that into this three-dimensional realm, right? um that's when we end up creating what we create, and having that gift of inspiration, but
Well, and that's one thought I've had over time, but I just had it again recently. I was gifted a vision from the abyss, and it's like I kind of feel like those things are so sacred and like need to be recognized in order to be gifted with another one of those. And so I feel like bringing those into the physical existence is so important. And so, yeah, I'd love to kind of speak to you more about like visions and how psychedelics have impacted your work, and yeah, how do you honor those visions?
yeah, I will say too, I think it's important to also recognize what things shouldn't be brought into this realm, right? Because I've noticed things that are almost like malicious, interestingly enough, that want to enter this realm, but you have to be like, no, I'm not doing that, But oh man, what was the question you just asked though? I feel like I veered back.
Oh, you're fine. Just like, yeah, like what roles psychedelics have played in your work, and yeah, just in your exploration, and kind of talking about visions that you needed to honor a little bit.
Oh yeah. Well, psychedelics have definitely been a big part of my life. Uh, Recently, I've been taking a big break and definitely recalibrating and considering what they should, what place they should have in my life, But it's interesting because I feel like, I mean, I know like LSD for one, and I'm sure other mushrooms and stuff. It connects like your whole brain, right? And you're just kind of experiencing everything like a child would, I mean, I feel like as a child, I felt like I was tripping balls, Like I remember watching certain movies as a kid and being like, "What the fuck? Like, this is trippy." But yeah, it definitely opens you up to those to more frequencies, right? Which is another part of what I was just talking about, where it's important to like be intentional about those kind of like ceremonies and practices, and when you're using those substances or anything like that. Um, but yeah, it's just it's it's hard to like put into words how it like impacts the art specifically, right? Because it just gives you those it opens your antennas, right? Like that's what it feels like. You just have antennas on. It's like, um, but yeah, yeah.
So if you were like on an island by yourself and you had like an iPod with every music ever downloaded onto it, and you had a choice of your psychedelic, what is your choice of psychedelic and music to listen to?
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Well, definitely. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But I would have to say mushrooms because I've just recently come to a lot of revelations where I feel like things that come from the earth are what's the best and what's real and like what's most likely pure, right? Because a lot of these psychedelics, like LSD was always my favorite for sure, but I just started to question like who's making it, right? Where's it coming from? Whose hands are passing through it? Whose intentions are passing through it? But mushrooms and I don't know, maybe like some classical music, or because I feel like that would be like the least annoying, right? Like if you had to listen to it for the rest of your life, like some Beethoven or something.
Well, let's not say for the rest of your life, then let's just say you've got an afternoon. Like,
Oh,
what are you playing? Not for the
oh,
rest of your life. We're not gonna make it that hard.
I love like explosions in the sky or just like some lo-fi, like really beautiful, like milky sounds, you know? I always love that because I love just feeling like I'm in like I'm underwater or like in a bubble, you know, and there's just like beep beep. There's something where my mind can flow, you know, and there's not a lot of abrasiveness or and explosions in the sky can be abrasive sometimes, but it's beautiful because it's very explosive, I guess, just at certain points. But it's mostly just really mellow, like post rock kind of. Yeah, just very dramatic instrumental music. Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned that you've done live painting in the past. When did you start doing live art?
Oh, that was probably around 2015, I think, or 2016. I remember it was right after we moved to Denver. I moved to Denver in 2015, and I remember I always been such a workaholic, like crazy. So I was always at the tattoo shop, but then I was hanging out with my friends who were all into making EDM and like doing little shows together, and I started painting there, and I was like, oh, it's like I'm like working and hanging out at the same time. This is awesome. like I love this, you know. So I just started painting a lot in like the community in Denver at like Cervantes and at like Monday Night Menageries and stuff. Oh man. And yeah, I just met everyone through there and then ended up going to like festivals and stuff like that. And yeah, it was really fun for a while.
What is your like festival experience like? And also you mentioned the Rainbow Gathering earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I'm somewhat familiar. I've known some people, but I don't know that much about, and I've never been to a Rainbow Gathering. So I'd love to kind of hear you talk about
Yeah,
that.
Rainbow's amazing. I feel like I love festival culture and them both, but I love Rainbow because it's kind of like all of the ideals of music festivals, but without the money and the capitalism. And I'm like, this is exactly what it's supposed to, but it just feels like what life is supposed to be because it's Rainbow is just people going out into the woods and then they build kitchens and you're just basically like eating food and sitting around the fire and just like helping each other survive and thrive in the woods for like a month. It's like,
So
oh,
do they do those once a year and then they're like a month long, or do they do 'em multiple times?
there's a bunch. So there's like regional gatherings, so they're smaller. And they're all throughout the country. You can go on the Rainbow Trail and like be at Rainbow all the time. It gets it's a little gritty and rough if you do that, but like, because Rainbow is interesting because it is beautiful, but there is, you know, everybody is. It's kind of like the internet, right? Where it's like what you create, and everyone's invited. So sometimes there's bad things that happen too, but in general, it's a very beautiful experience. But yeah, there is one big event. In the summer, it just happened, and they on the 4th of July they do like a silent prayer for peace, and they do like a giant om circle, and yeah, it's really beautiful. I didn't make it this year because I'm in New York, but like it's okay. But yeah,
Where have you been to Rainbow Gatherings in the past?
well, I went to that one in Washington. Let's see, I went to one in South Dakota, in Tennessee, Michigan. I feel like there was another one. Oh, there's another Washington one that was a big one of the national ones that was in the summer. So yeah, I've been to a few. Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to talk about any festival experiences? Like what festivals have you been to?
Oh, well, you know, a lot of the local Denver, like local Colorado ones, like Sonic Bloom and Arise. I think both of those festivals are gone now, unfortunately. Uh, but that was always cool because it was all the Colorado community plus like a few more people. But that was beautiful. And then let's see, I've been to one called Vertex. I went to, you know, Deja Vu, which was Bass Nature. Like, I definitely used to follow him a lot, you know, obviously, before he died, basically. Oh,
Who was that you say? I didn't hear that quite.
oh, Bass Nectar.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. He who shall not be named, even though I just named him. But yeah, I painted for them a lot. I painted for Bass Nectar a few times, and Yeah, I think I kind of stopped live painting after COVID happened, pretty much. Um, I feel like that's when I kind of started drifting away from like the festival culture a little bit in general. But everything was weird for a while. It's still weird.
It's still weird for sure.
We're trying to make it not weird, but it's I don't know, the world is a crazy place.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of the art is gone from festivals, actually, I've noticed. I feel like festivals I see now are a lot of it's just music. Like maybe there's an art gallery, but I don't really see as many like live painters out there. It's interesting.
I
But
talked to Maurice Laflamme last week, and he kind of hinted at maybe doing some events of just like more of just art festival, with it.
Ooh,
So yeah, he's working on some things that way.
that's beautiful. I feel like it's so important. It's such a different vibe when there's like so much creation energy happening. Especially in an environment where people are going through a lot of intense experiences, like on a soul level, right? Because a lot of people are ingesting things and such. But yeah, yeah, art is so important, and I feel like part of I feel like part of why there aren't a lot of artists is because festivals don't really pay artists or value them. So we all kind of were like, you know what, we're good actually. Like, but that's the unfortunate part of festival culture, I feel, is it kind of did get overrun a bit by the capitalist aspect of it, which is what happens to a lot of things that could be great. you know, um, you gotta do good things for the shareholders and stuff, right? You know,
Everyone needs their money.
right, right. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think there is a way to still do that and still appreciate artists and take care of people and that are enhancing your event and stuff. But it's an interesting thing where I feel like people don't see art as important for some reason, but they're wrong. So.
And I don't think they see it as not important, but maybe they think it is just something they don't need to pay for because the art's
Right, which
gonna get done
inherently is
either
like
way.
not important. Because usually, if you feel like something's important, you're like, I'm going to pay you for that, or like I'm going to, make it worth your while. But it's something that could have been, thrown to the side, according to people. But it's yeah, it's unfortunate. But I feel like hopefully it can find its place in places where it's appreciated. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where is the evolution of your art going? Like, where do you see this leading to?
That's a really great question too. Wow. Yeah, I think I was thinking about that earlier as well. I'm actually in a pretty interesting place right now where I'm not sure because I know there's a part of me that thinks that I'm kind of slipping away from the tattoo world. Um, but I almost want to be able to paint more, and I almost don't want to put too much stress on myself as far as like a crazy goal or destination. Just enjoy life and make art, because that is the journey is the destination thing, whatever. um, and I kind of want to start making some clothes. I've been wanting to do that for a while, just like painting clothes and stuff like that. And um, but yeah, I'd really just love to find a community here and be able to nourish myself enough to be in a place to make art, on every level. And yeah, yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Um, well, tell me about some of like your favorite artists, and like we kind of went into that a little bit earlier, but just like who are some artists that really stand out to you and that inspire you to make more work?
Oh, um, I mean, it's a lot of my friends, like actually, even recently, I ran into my friend David Frank. He's a friend from Cosm, And even just like hanging out, where it's like, oh, like I should make art. Like I actually don't hate everything. Art is cool, you know. He's a great artist too. I really like the style. It's similar to like a lot of the stuff I do too. Um, but yeah, it's hard to say. There's so many artists. Like every day, I see it online and everything, and it's always pushing me to, you know. I feel like tattoo artists too. Um, it's hard to name people. There's so many. I feel like I'm just surrounded by so many artists all the time. Just like on the screen, you know. Like, um, but yeah, yeah. And in general, just people supporting me every once in a while, just like with a compliment. I feel like it's like, oh, okay, maybe this is worth something, you know. So I feel like it's easy as artists to get in a place where it's like, what is the point, right? And um, but yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, music inspires me a lot too. I feel like, um,
Yeah, I know for me personally, like I've got CT Nelson's painting on my desktop that I look at all the time, and like his work like really just like makes me smile and happy a lot.
dude, yeah, I have like a couple. Like I have Trent Kuhn, like a piece of his. I have like my friend. Well, I don't know. I always say my friend. My friend is like this one person I know from Instagram. Jorge. He has some really cool stuff, and yeah.
Was that any difficulty for you in moving back to New York? Did you have to like cut back on a lot of your art extravagance and a lot of your things that you have and love?
Dude, yeah. Okay, so that was actually pretty tough. I actually didn't get rid of a lot of my art. I kept a lot. I got all the paintings. I don't think I gave away too much. My van, I did 2 trips from Denver to here, and on the second trip, my van, I had all my own paintings in it and all my art, and I had like one little like narrow thing to sleep on. And it was just like all the rest of my stuff. But I did get rid of a lot of stuff from my studio, and I don't know. It was kind of painful, you know. I cried a few times, just like little inanimate objects that I sold. I'm like, oh, this was like in my art, you know, my tattoo studio when I opened it like 4 years ago, and like now it's gone. But it's okay, you know. It's I'm just like, thank you for being here, and then like have fun, you know, because it's really like you can't take anything with you, right? That's what that trip was showing me. Like when you die, but also in general, it's like how much stuff do we have to hold on to? I'm still trying to be more of a minimalist, honestly, but the art does make it hard. There's a lot of that everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a hoarder of cool things, and I just have like a place under a desk back there that's just got a bunch of rolled up prints that I buy from friends.
Dude,
And
yeah, I have like my closet too.
but it's so dumb because they just sit there in tubes under a desk, you know, and it's like
Oh, so sometimes
I
it'll eventually get, you know, I just framed a couple of those types of prints like yesterday. I found some frames that someone else thrown out, and I was like, oh, I'm finally gonna frame these. So you never know when they'll just pop out. But yeah, no, you can collect stuff. You know, in Denver, I was there for so long that I just accumulated cool stuff over like 10 years. But honestly, moving will get that away from you. It's like, I never want to hoard stuff again. I don't need anything. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm glad that's over.
yeah, I saw Jake Amazon posted that he was trying to get rid of some of his bigger paintings that he had accumulated over the years, and he had a magical one from Seth MacMahon that he had up for sale, and I was like, oh snap! I wish I had money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's I'm a little cautious now about buying big stuff. Like, I mean, I don't even think I'm gonna make big paintings as much anymore. I have like this one behind me.
Hmm.
He'll probably be the last big thing I do. Because I mean, like my friend David I was talking about, he's talking about doing paintings that are like this big, they can put in a book, you know?
Hmm.
Like, oh, that makes so much sense. Then you could just move around
Hmm.
and have your stuff and not worry about it, you know?
I
Because
think it's also just so much easier to like sell a painting that's small and that you can get your money worth out of it at 500 to 1,000 rather than these big paintings that take us years to create, right?
yeah, yeah. But those paintings are important too. You know, I feel like I had a painting that I'm really grateful I got to sell to a friend last year. The Green Terra. I painted that for 6 years.
6 years. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it sat in the corner for most of the time, but I painted it over so many times because I would go back to it and my style or my skill level would change. And I'm like, I just need to do this all over again. But it would just take on new things the whole time. I really think paintings, they get finished when they're meant to. And like, because yeah, paintings will sit in the corner and then one day I'll be like, oh shit, I need to finish that, and then it'll create a whole story happening in real life. It's crazy. It just like all this kismet and awesomeness happens. I don't know. There's a lot of magic in painting. A lot of it. Because there's just so much energy just focused on one thing, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
and there's just there's something there's deeper thoughts that come and when you're just sitting in that quiet space with yourself and looking at your work for such a long period of time, right?
Right. And I always said like that's a recipe, like a part of the recipe. There's like the image, there's it's just like the time is a big aspect, right? Because then you have all the stars moving around and all these things happening in life and all these people coming into your life, like putting an impact on it and everything like that, and it becomes this really beautiful thing, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a studio space set up? I know you just moved back to New York like a month or so ago. So
Like
do
this,
you have
this is
this? That's it.
it. You're actually the phone is on my easel right now. So yeah, I have like a cute studio apartment. It's small, but it's all I need for me and Bongo, and I just paint in the corner next to the window. So it's perfect.
I
Yeah.
feel like your dog Bongo is like one of my lost long dogs or something.
Oh.
I feel like I know his personality so well.
Yeah. Oh, he's such a good boy. Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's almost, oh wait, he'll be 12 in August.
Wow.
But he's still kicking. He's still spry. So, yeah.
So like, yeah, what are some of your daily habits and like what is a typical routine for you with your art?
Ooh. I should have better ones. I mean, I guess when I'm tattooing a lot too, I have a better routine where, um, yeah, I usually wake up, drink coffee, and get my nicotine. Um, but yeah, I'll usually be drawing all the time. Just like wake up and like just like get my mind going and just like put on music and draw and then like I'll tattoo and then yeah, it's just that all the time.
When you first start down to draw, do you have an idea or do you just get that pen moving and it becomes what it is? Or how do you start?
Oh, yeah, kind of both. Sometimes there's an idea. Sometimes I do like to do that where it's just flow and because that's the most important part is starting, right? And sometimes I feel like I have a block or something. I'll just be like, okay, let me just kind of flow and see what happens and what I'm pulled to and what wants to pop out, you know? Yeah.
And so your art practice is it's a daily practice then.
Usually, yes. I mean, lately it's been a little bit like 'cause I move and stuff. It's like not as much, but I'm trying to get back into it. I actually would love to start writing more in the mornings. I feel like good practice too, just to kind of get kind of clarify intention and what's going on and what you want to go towards. Yeah.
How have you been incorporating painting into your practice lately with the move and all?
Oh, so I actually just started a painting, and it's interesting because painting is something that I can only really do when I feel like stable, right? Like if there's any question about like financially or like work or like whatever, if I have to do tattoos and like be focusing on that, it's hard for me to paint. But lately I've actually had a lot of free time, so it's been really beautiful and I can just kind of sit and flow and just enjoy myself because I don't know, it's just like I feel like I'm happiest when I'm painting. And I would love to do it more, you know. But yeah, I love to just like put on music or like a YouTube video. Sometimes it helps because like I'm hella ADD, so it helps like listen to something or even like watch a movie on the side and just be painting. I think yeah. Yeah.
Are you reading any books currently?
Oh, My friend just gave me a book called The Artist's Way, and I'm really interested to read that. But I've just been kind of diving into like some of my older books that I like kind of forgot about in Denver because I had to move and I saw them all again. So let's see, I was reading like the Kybalion the other day. It was pretty interesting. Um but yeah, I like to listen to a lot of audiobooks too when I'm painting. That's always really good.
What
Um
audiobooks have you been listening to lately?
let's see. Oh man, there's this one by like Sadhguru. I forget the title of it though. That's a really I like to listen to that when I paint too. That's a really good one. Um But yeah, I'll listen to a lot of informational stuff too. I don't know. It's been a minute, but yeah, just a lot of music. I've been listening to a lot of like 2000s emo, like oddly enough, or classic.
Your post talking about you listening to Bleak
Oh
182.
my god, dude! Yeah, for some reason, what was it in like December? Like, you know what? I rediscovered. Oh yeah, because Bob died from My Chemical Romance, and I was like, oh yeah, My Chemical Romance is a thing, and I listened to it. And I was like, this is so fucking good. Like, this is still good, and I just kind of went down that whole pipeline. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just like maybe I've just needed some nostalgic comfort or something. It was good music. It's good music. Yeah. I feel like the
Um,
more sober I am too, the more I lean towards like emo and like rock and like metal. Not like metal, more like like System of a Down type metal. Like, like it's like not metal. It's like I don't know, but yeah, yeah. When I'm just like raw dogging life, it gets to the hard stuff. Like,
do you play any musical instruments?
dude, no. I wish I did though. I was really thinking about this today, and it's funny because sometimes I'll listen to some music. Like today, I was listening to Devil Makes Three. And I was enjoying it so much, and I just picture myself like playing it, Like, I'm just like, oh, I wish I could freaking play this and like sing it and just be like hanging out with my friends. Like, that'd be so fun. But I feel like that might be another lifetime type thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard because I took some banjo lessons at some point, but just with like all my focus on tattooing and all that, it's just hard to like take up another thing and be like and
Mhm.
to suck at it. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna keep doing this stuff I'm kind of decent at. Like, but maybe one day when I have like more free time, or like if I retire, if I live that long, um, and I'll pick up a banjo or a guitar or something.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw this cool thing called like an omnichord the other day. It's like a guitar with a keyboard. It's a keytar. I was like, that'd be sick. Something like that.
I also just encourage you to like, because I was in the boat of like I'm not good at music, and so I would just never do it, and just like told myself didn't have that skill, and so I never did it. I was given a flute just like 5 years ago, and I like could not figure out how to make that thing sound right. And
Yeah.
then, but when I got into playing the kalimba, this little magical instrument here.
Whoa. Oh, it's like the thumb thing?
Yeah, it's just a thumb piano. And so like I was like training my entire life at a young age to like learn how to play this thing with Nintendo, you know? Like A B left right select start kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing, but and then it's an instrument too that like it's just a thumb piano, so it's easy to make it sound good. I had tried the guitar in the past, but it was hard to make it sound right. And I do think this has been such an important instrument for me to start playing just because it's easy to pick up and
Yeah, dude, I used to have a pentatonic. I think it's called xylophone. I got it from this guy in Durango, and yeah, just something that you can just play and it sounds good and it's so like healing. And I would literally get like a hand pan or something like that for that reason. I mean, not to say that they're easy to play, but you can just kind of hit it. It's like, oh, this is nice.
Mhm.
There's no
I've
pressure
been
to
having
perform. you know.
I've been having so much fun with the hand pan over the last year. Me and my friend Rob have really dug in and began playing that. We play it like once a week together, and we'll play for like 3 or 4 hours, and then just practicing on our own and during the rest of the week. But we get together like every Thursday, and it's just jam band time. And it's been so fun lately, like seeing the improvements that you make from just like sticking with it, and it's a really fun instrument.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Um, what role does failure or mistakes play in your learning process?
Oh, fascinating. Um, I don't really believe in mistakes, but I think honestly everything does happen to teach us things. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other aspects of my life where I could say that was a mistake, but then it brings me to somewhere else where I'm like, oh well, that had to happen. I guess. You know, failure is an interesting one because I feel like there's always this kind of shadow idea of failure, right? And not living up to, but it's like what am I even defining as success, without other people's influence on it? And that's something I've been trying to meditate on lately. I haven't gotten quite there yet, but uh failure, because like failure, how? Because I feel like rejection is one thing too, right? Where that I've totally come to terms with, where that's redirection. Sometimes it sucks, but if someone or something or place is like no, then I'm like, okay. I definitely prefer to feel invited and aligned, um, especially with like art or like what I'm creating, and you know, but yeah, I've actually been facing that a lot lately, because it's been so hard out here to start over, like we were talking about earlier, and I've felt that feeling of failure, you know, um, or that thought of failure, right? But it's like, no, I'm just being redirected, because I've been asking for this. And the universe just been kicking my ass because they're like, just stop asking for this. We're going to give it to you. But now you got to deal with like the in between fucking thing. you know? Um, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely kind of view failure as not so much even a failure, but like maybe a sign from universe that like you're just going in the wrong direction. Like
Exactly.
pushing for
Yeah.
things that, yeah, you couldn't be successful in, but there are other things that are calling your name that you need to go do.
I really needed to hear that. Thank you. Yeah. No, that's so true. Like, I feel like I am trying to force, or I have been trying to force a lot of things where I, like, for instance, just like continuing to do things the way I've always done them. But I've been seeing messages like, tarot readers online and stuff. They're like, you can't just like get somewhere new if you're just, you can't build a new house with the same bricks or whatever. Like, I don't know. That wasn't quite the quote, but it's close. Um, but yeah, yeah. So I'm just trying to be patient with everything right now, and yeah, accepting that I am being redirected. And I feel like the more that we accept it, the easier that transition will be. Instead of trying to like squeeze onto things and get dragged by things we can't let go of. And
I mean, that's where most of the suffering comes from, right? Is just the resistance of the
yeah,
way things are.
yeah, there's actually Joe Bob talked about this one Buddhist guy, and he has a really, I forget his name right now, but he wrote something like suffering equals pain multiplied by resistance. And I was like, damn, that's facts. You know? Like that's like so powerful. Cause yeah, just the more you resist, the more painful it is. Yeah. And the more like you just keep going in the wrong direction and it's just more pain. It's just like, but yeah, I guess it's important to figure out what direction we want to be going in, right? And to be able to see the clear signs of like, okay, like what is this showing me? Because it's really easy to get lost in like, well, I could do anything or go anywhere. But that's just then the universe will just take you for a ride. you know. But yeah, so meditating and having intention is really important. And those moments of like failure, it's like it's you're gonna have grief and that's okay. You don't have to just be like, I accept this. Like, cause it's gonna suck. But just gotta keep pushing through and keep walking, keep going. Yeah.
Well, so like, what's next for you as an artist? I mean, just kind of getting your feet and your roots back planted in New York and kind of figuring it out from there, I suppose. But like, yeah, what else? What else is on the horizon for you?
Yeah. So my goal was to just come back here and just try to hustle for a while, and uh, eventually want to move out of the country. Not sure how that's gonna work out yet, but I feel that's everyone's goal right now. At least
This
world.
country's too expensive.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things. Mostly the food. I'm tired of trying to cherry pick my food everywhere because it's all poisoned. I would love to go to a restaurant where I'm not like, what the fuck is in this food? Do I have to worry about it? Just little things like that.
Along those lines too, I think I just heard a day or two ago, Michelle Pfeiffer was mentioning this thing that one of Bill Gates' company got this. It's called a pill, and it's like a spray that they put on organic
Yeah, I put it on
vegetables
organic
to
food
keep them
now.
longer. And so yeah, now things that are marked as organic aren't even organic.
Yeah, I mean, uh, there's only so much we can do as individuals at this point. But yeah, it's scary, because I really believe that your body is just like alchemizing everything all the time. So it's like whatever we're consuming is, as I'm vaping, it's like whatever. But like, um, yeah, it's tough. I've tried to like let go of control a little bit, but then even when I just like eat whatever, I notice it and how it makes me feel. Like I had a Coca-Cola yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, like I could feel like how it brought my body down. I was like, ugh. Um, but yeah, you can only control so much, you know, and it's 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 in a lot of places where this whole planet is kind of feeling the effects of everything that's been going on in the past since the industrial age, pretty much. There's pesticides that are in the rainwater, and but yeah. Anyway, the future.
What habits do you have of kind of dealing with the world and its craziness that it is, and like coming back to a place where you can get your work done? Or how do you manage these things in your mind that
Turning
way?
off my phone. That's the
Hmm.
main thing. Stopping scrolling and like I used to definitely get upset about things a lot. I was definitely like a gung ho political, like all this stuff. But at some point, I realized I was like, well, there a lot of it is so important, but a lot of it is also just like manipulation and psychological warfare on the phone. And if we can just like put it to the side and just like go for a walk, and realize because when I went to Rainbow last year, I was in the woods for like I think like 2 weeks with no phone, and my reality was like it was great. Like there was like I was hanging out with my friends, I was like in nature, I was eating food, I had my dog, and then I got back and I think it was right around when like Donald Trump got shot in the ear or whatever. And just seeing like how it was emotionally affecting people and like all this crazy stuff, I was like, this is crazy. Like this is warfare, just like these things that they put on the screen for people to emotionally react to. Um, so I've been trying to get off my phone a lot more lately because that's when I feel like I get into more psychological, and that's when the world is in chaos, is like when I'm on the phone. It sounds horrible because it's also like that's when I'm aware of what's going on, but like, um, yeah, I mean, I think stepping outside the phone and trying to reach out to our in-person communities around us is really important. And just like saying hi to people and talking to people and just experiencing, what's around us. And that in itself can be inspiring too. And yeah, yeah. So yeah, just a lot of like taking time to myself is nice to get away from that craziness of the world. But it's hard, man, because it's just more and more prevalent every day, in the economic, effects that you see everywhere. And yes, but yeah, yeah, I feel like I was angry for so long, and now I'm just like, like, take me now. I don't know, man. I'm ready for the nukes. I don't know. I mean, I feel like our generation has kind of just like ended up doing a lot of humor coping, but yeah, I try to just practice gratitude too, and that helps with a lot of like the failure mentality, depression mentality, all that with everything. It's like, hey, okay, I'm here now. with food in my fridge and like my dog sleeping and talking to my friend and like it's just great, you know? Um, so yeah, I think going into nature and having community is a big thing, and I think we should all start connecting with each other more, you know, and cause yeah, that'll help. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
Well, this has been a really fun conversation. Yeah,
yeah,
really good catching up with you again.
yeah. It's so good to see you. Yeah, thanks for calling me and having me do this. It's been really fun.
It's a time to go back on the tracks, on a journey of healing, to remember our roots, who we are, and our interconnectivity with all of life. From there, we will build a new operating system that honors natural laws and the creative spirit inherent in all. Join me and my artist friends on the Vision Train.
We're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.